Yeah, so yeah, I mean, what can you guys kind of tell me about being a band from the Coachella Valley where the scene here for your music hasn't always been super supportive? Like, we're seeing some good moments tonight, but I'm sure that hasn't been the case your whole career of your band, right? Just what can you tell me about that experience kind of living that life?
I would say, well, like our first show, we wrote music and then we started a show. Like then we did a show, right? So our first show was at a barber shop in Coachella, and it was max like 20 people, and like half of them were homies and stuff. It was like a really cool laid back show. It was like three bands. It was two of our bands, an old band, and then MX and Bait, and it was super tiny, and it was like right next to a barbershop and like an alley of a barbershop in Coachella, and it was super tiny. And compared to this, we have like a whole set, like they got a whole stage and like amps and monitors and lights and all this. And there's like what like we get 25 people now, and it's
Mhm.
like wow, it's crazy.
More than 25, by the way.
But it's really cool. I feel like the scene's definitely grown since the first time we've played. But yeah, before that, I feel like we didn't really see much out here. We saw some stuff, but especially during COVID, everything shut down, so we didn't see anything at all. Um, so yeah, I think it's grown quite a bit as time passes. What do you think, Santi?
Yeah, like I was thinking earlier when I was looking out at the crowd, like I was just thinking to myself, like he was talking about the barbershop show. I was like thinking back to it and how there was like a good like 15 or like 20 people there for our set, and it was funny because like the barbershop was still like operating, so like and they had these like big ass windows, so we were just like right there like playing from the windows and shit, and like all these people would like come out after they got a haircut and just like chill for a second, like watch. But like yeah, like just comparing it to like tonight, it's dope to see that like more people are coming out to like shows like this, and we're starting to feel like people are starting to be more supportive of like the type of music that we play out here, and I'm just hoping that it I guess pushes people to like start bands like ours I guess out here. We're just grindcore bands out here.
Sick.
Or anything, like dude, like whatever band, whatever music you want to make, like just start doing it, cause you need diversity. Everybody needs to do something that makes them feel good, and like whatever that is, hope we make you feel like doing that.
Yeah.
Um, Ultimately, I guess that's always fun.
Yeah.
When people are like, "Oh, you guys are really inspiring," I'm like, "That's cool. I hope you guys make some cooler shit than us, so that they can listen to it and like be like, hell yeah,
Yeah.
it's just heavy."
I mean, see all the kids out there like really responding to your music. I mean, even if they're not like, oh, dude, your guitar work is insane or your drum work is insane, like they're vibing to it, they're dancing to it. Like,
Yeah,
it's the
exactly.
spark, you
Yeah.
know. That's
Yeah.
cool. What can you guys tell me about kind of fortifying yourself as a band, playing, getting a bunch of shows in your belt as a band in like places out of town, and what kind of things have you learned from playing in other scenes that you feel like you're bringing back to hometown shows?
Oh, dude, what was even our first show outside of the valley?
I want to say that it was
Paris.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure we played Paris in August of 2022. Um,
This is like Paris, California.
yeah,
Yeah.
Paris. Oh, yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah, straight out into Paris after
Eiffel Tower at the top. That was us. Yeah.
Imagine. But yeah, we played Paris in August of 2022, and before that, we had played like a good two shows I think out here, like the other one in DHS.
Oh, we
So we started playing the IE a lot in like LA a lot, and we really started like being more gravitated towards like that scene because there's more grind bands out there, so we can resonate more towards them. But
I feel like a lot of our traction definitely came once we started going out to LA. I don't remember. I think it was our homie Marcos from Paris, Parisito Street. Shout out to the
Marcos.
homies. They got us on a show. It was like a long ass lineup for no reason. There's like hella bands on there, but it was super cool, and that was like the show that kind of sparked everything. I would say because it was honestly to this day like one of the best shows we played. Like so much energy in the crowd, and like I don't know, there's something so special about being out for the first time. So yeah, I'd say the way to fortify yourself would be just putting out music, talking to other bands, developing your sound, always trying to better your sound. And I mean, we don't always do that. Sometimes we sound worse than we did before, but that's part of the process. You learn as you go. And I think just working on developing your sound and your music and connecting with people is kind of important, you know, like having themes that people can enjoy, you know. I feel like we have like a I don't know how to explain what we are, I guess, but we have like our own style of doing things, and I think they gravitated to a lot of people. You know, something that a lot of people could grasp. So I think that's important.
Yeah.
Is having something you enjoy, because once you enjoy it, other people will catch on to that. You know? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what can you tell me about kind of the themes and the things you guys stand for? Because seeing you on stage is one thing, seeing your social media presence is another thing. So like, what does like MxM like really stand for? What does it mean to you guys?
I think we stand for community, being true to yourself. Um,
Just sticking by your morals and shit.
Yeah.
Just like you said, community. Like we really wanna, I guess, like push out the message that like the shit that we make is like welcoming to like everyone, unless you're a fucking bigot or like some stupid racist or something. But like during just like these past couple of months, I've been thinking a lot more about like the music we make since we've been getting a bit more traction. Like every month, like we just like I don't know, like it's been blowing my mind, like just like the amount of support that we've been getting like recently. So I started thinking about just like what like it means and like the fact that we have like such a big platform now that we really want to start pushing out like more messages, I guess, since we have the audience for it. The songs that we write, like we have lyrics. Sometimes you know you can't really tell what we're saying because you know we're fucking screaming and shit, but we do have lyrics. We're talking about you know shit that's going on in the world, like corruption. I know we gravitate towards like I guess like this cartel-esque type like vibe or like
the violence of it, like the violence in Mexico, is so normalized, and I think in a way, it's like in our culture, you know, like the music and the way people want to live. Um, it's like a lot of violence, and people don't realize it. I guess it, you know, like there's a lot of cartels and shit because it's just a lot of poor kids and poor areas who have no one else to turn to, nowhere else to go to find money, so they go to cartels or whatever, or you know, doing whatever delinquents shit they do, and then at the end of the day, we still lose. You know, we're still gonna be poor. Like one of our songs is "Vidas Perdidas en Vena," which is like for the innocent people who have died. You know, because of cartel violence. Like even if it's just like there's a shooting and like some little kid got hit, or like some random lady crossing the street got hit, and like that's just so normalized, especially in Mexico, with the music. Not even just the music, but like just in life. You know, that's becomes such a normal part of it, you know, just like, oh, we're driving down the street, there's a bunch of mutilated corpses and shit, and it sucks. And I wish we didn't have to live like that. And I wish my family didn't have to live like that. And yeah, I guess that's a big part of it as well, is the corruption and the violence that people see every day.
yeah, I wouldn't want people to think that like we just like use the cartel, I guess like just like as an aesthetic or something, or as like just like some sort of like trend, you know, because Pablo just explained like the whole backing behind the reasoning we use like that type of imagery and like the way we approach like our sound and like just like the way we title our songs and our covers and stuff sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's really important too, and that's something that not a lot of people would understand. Just, you know, judging off face value what they see on posts and seeing your shows and stuff. Do you feel like it's a priority to be more forthcoming with that mission, or do you think it speaks for itself in the shows and the community that you kind of establish with stuff like that?
I think, I feel like we've always tried to incorporate that in that, even like from the beginning. Um, but definitely moving forward, we want to move more into those messages and like kind of expand on it a little more, in whatever ways we can. So yeah, definitely that's something we want to put in a lot more, because you know not everything's about it, but like there's a lot of songs about it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And I mean, I feel like everybody that's buying your merch and stuff, all the kids with the ski masks and stuff on, do you think like they're really understanding and stuff like that too?
hopefully after this though. No?
For sure.
Yeah, this is like
If you
I'm
didn't know
gen-
that, you know.
genuinely hoping like they watch this and like understand now.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah, I know like there's a lot of kids in like ski masks and stuff, like they just like fuck with like this type of like genre and stuff because of just like the looks and like the pictures, the covers, and like I guess like within like recent years, I guess like it was like sort of like a trend, I guess, like quote unquote, um, to like hop on this stuff. But we're just hoping that people don't see it as a trend and that like they for real start listening to this music, start venturing out and listening to more bands that are, you know, like way better than us and stuff. So yeah, and just hoping that they also build a sense of community and just learn to be like respectful to one another, no matter who you are.
Yeah, because it's unique to have an outlet of aggression that can seem scary, but at the root of it, it's all community and like love based. Like, yeah, it's a crazy ass fucking mosh pit in the crowd, but like no one's like actually trying to kill each other, you know?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're all homies.
Yeah.
You know, in one way or another. It's cool because I feel like these are like, I don't know. I feel like if I went to a venue or something, I would be scared to like leave my stuff around. But here I'm like, I'll be right back, and like no one takes it. They just leave it right where it is because I don't know. I guess we're just respectful like that here. Except for that Miller High Life, someone fucking stole a hat. Did you hear about that? Someone
Really?
on the stage, they were like, if you have a Miller High Light hat, it's mine. Give it back. And I was like, oh shit, dude. I was like, I'm sorry. I thought we were safe here.
Yeah.
It's cool. I love being out here. I feel like, yeah, we definitely have a sense of community when we come to these areas.
So, like, you know, being from the Coachella Valley and starting a band that, you know, you mentioned that didn't really have the kind of support at first, like, how did the Valley find its way to influence you in a way, or did you have to seek out musical influence kind of elsewhere from other places?
I think a lot of our influence came from almost the lack of music that we saw in a way.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of musicians in the Valley, but there's not like a lot of shows, you know what I mean? And especially shows that like reach a broad audience. Like there'll be shows at the Hood, which are always cool, but like I can't get in. I'm 19, like I can't get in there. So it sucks that it was always like that. And then Dale's was hosting shows in Palm Desert, and we went to a few of those, and I feel like from that's when we were like, we gotta start something and like try to make something cool out in the Valley so that we have something instead of nothing. Instead of like, yeah, we just wanted to make stuff that we like.
The Coachella Valley hardcore scene too. Also like just seeing videos of like how it used to be in the past, like a couple like years ago, like near decades ago, with like the Cathedral of Hardcore and stuff like that. Like
He was bringing that up earlier too.
yeah, all that stuff is like so fucking dope, and like I'd love to like just bring that fucking or bring the scene up to like that sort of level again, and like, you know, throwing house shows like that, just like, but also within like, you know, as we've been saying, like building a community too within it. So there's this other band too, If Tomorrow Never Comes. They're a Coachella Valley hardcore band from I want to say like over a decade ago. I believe they stopped being like they stopped being active. But like there's a video of them playing like in a warehouse somewhere in the valley up on YouTube, and it's like really cool because there's a lot of people there. So just like I guess like seeing how the Coachella Valley hardcore scene used to be in the past, like kind of inspires us or like pushes us to kind of build it back to like how it used to be.
Shout out to Face Facts.
Yeah, Face Facts too.
Another legend, yeah. Along with Facelift, another
Yeah.
long time band. Did you have any questions?
You guys were talking about perception of this or that based on, you know, your message and also combined with your guys' genre, you know, grind. You know, obviously back in the day there was always a negative connotation towards like heavy metal or punk or hardcore. Do you think that these days, not obviously just the kids outside, but like in a general public sense, do you think there's still that negative connotation towards harder music or more obscure heavy music?
I feel like people will always, I don't know, I feel like back in the day they'd be like, oh, that's satanic, turn it off, and they would like lash you. But now they don't do that, but like I feel like people still don't understand it. Like not every, like, you know, the music we make is not for everyone. Like a person who regularly listens to like Taylor Swift and Adele or like Justin Timberlake or like anything other than like anything heavy, they're not gonna really like it. They're gonna be like, what the fuck is this? Like, why is this guy burping in my ear? Like, what's going on? So like, I think it'll, especially us, since it's like even farther away from the normal, like Metallica or something. Like Metallica's cool, but like it's not us. Like we're not the same. Like if people,
We're not the same.
Obviously, yeah. Like I don't
Maybe the only two metal bands I know, bro.
but like that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's just not something you hear mainstream, and it's not something people will accept on the first take ever, probably. So, yeah, I think we'll always be somewhat not accepted, but I feel like people are more accepting of it. They won't like. People always stare at you. Like, people stare at me for my septum or this who how he dresses. I'm sure, like
My shirts and shit.
anyone for anything, but it's always gonna be like that. So you might as well just live.
It's like it's also like I would understand like why people wouldn't want to like start like listening to us or stuff because of the imagery we use, which like I get. Um, but I also like want to say that like there's no like aesthetic behind that either. Like I found throughout like at first when I first like found out that like bands were using like more like gory photos and stuff and like pictures of like dead people and stuff for work, I was like, oh damn, like what? Like I thought it was just for like shock value. I mean, some people do that, but I started finding the bands that like kind of inspired me to give MX a meaning too, because I found that like through all of that imagery and stuff, it's kind of like taught me that life like can really just like end at like any moment. Like you could not wake up tomorrow. Like you should never take any day for granted. So you should always just try to like live every day to like the fullest, I guess, and like make the most out of the life that you have, because you never know when you're just gonna fucking splat or something.
Those fireworks could have put us on a cover.
Yeah, like
could have put us on a cover.
We could have sold that footage of your last show for some good money.
Never before seen.
You mentioned, talking about how you guys feel like you were saying something along the lines like, oh, you feel like people will always look the other way in terms of our genre, in terms of our looks, stuff like that, how the music is. But, that being said, you have like amassed a pretty good following, like you mentioned earlier, some high numbers on your listeners and followers. What do you think makes you guys kind of different and something that people have been paying attention to?
Dude,
if you could figure it out.
I don't really know. We got lucky, I guess. Like, I don't know. I like our music, like, but I don't know. There's other bands that are like super good that have like 3 listeners a month or something, and then there's like us who are like, I don't know. It's just weird, dude. Yeah. It's crazy that we even have like 10 people listening to us, let alone like 10K. It's an insane feeling, and I have absolutely no clue why it happened to us, but I'm glad it did.
Yeah,
I'm happy to be here for sure.
Like we're still trying to pin down our sound and stuff too. So like I've heard bands that are like tight and like spot on and like just like fucking awesome, and I'm just like, damn, like how come like they don't get like that same type of fucking like attention that we're getting, I guess. But honestly, like I want to use that all the eyes we have too to like maybe like put more eyes onto like people that are also deserving of like an audience.
Yeah, can you talk to me more about that? I know you guys do a lot of like split singles and EPs, right?
Yeah.
Does that kind of fall in line with what you're talking about?
Yeah, we would love to split with like so many people, but like we just like I like personally lag on recording a lot. Like if I have drum tracks to record, I'll like sit on them, or like I'll fucking wait for like a whole month or something. So like we end up getting backed up a lot. But whenever like we can, and like whoever is down, like we just split with like homies and like bands that we fuck with. So what was our most recent split? Like Ziploc, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that was a sick split.
Ziploc is they're a men's band from up east in the East Coast. I want to say New Jersey. I'm sorry, bro. They're gonna kill us.
I feel like they're
One of
Rhode
the
Island.
Rhode I think
they're Rhode Island.
they're somewhere up in the East Coast, but they're really
like
dope.
Family Guy.
Yeah,
That's how you remember.
Yeah, dude. Like, if I'm wrong, I'm gonna feel bad.
Sorry.
Bro's watching from New York, like what the?
Yeah, in like Massachusetts. Like, dude,
No, but I mean, do you guys split with mostly stuff your guys' genre, or do you kind of have some like, oh, that's the homie, doesn't matter what genre?
Yeah, well, I guess we'd like to like stick it more to grind, right?
yeah, like we'll go outside of our genre. So like, we have a split we're working with on with Blowing Mud.
Oh.
They're like grinding D beat. So like, that's like the same genre. Yeah, I guess.
It's got the word grind in it. It's close enough.
But like,
I messed up.
I guess like another example would be we have this split with our homie coming up. It's like more of a noise project that they have, which is more like programmed stuff and like bunch of pitch shifted stuff. So we don't really like branch out like outside of grind, but we'll stick within grind and like the branches that it has, like core grind and like grind core and like DB, crust, all that.
Yeah. And it's cool that you're, you know, kind of living out that, like, you know, trying to put on and share other bands through those splits and stuff, using your platform
Yeah.
for good.
Yeah, it's all mutual support, so
Yeah.
I love it.
Cool. And thanks so much for having some time, guys. That was
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Thank you.